I'm ready to do it, I can't be afraid now. Put me on the stage now, I'm ready to rage now. I feel like an animal stuck in a cage and I'm ready to break out. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. This time, like the last time, you better get ready to race to the top. I'm ready to do this, show you what the truth is. I step on the field, it's time to get real, I'm feeling so ruthless. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop.
Welcome to the Creating Success Out of Failure podcast. I thank you for joining us. Our mission, our vision is to help salespeople and entrepreneurs get through the misinformation that's out there. We want to talk about everyone's trials and tribulations because you know what? We all know at the end of the day, success is not a linear straight line. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to get beaten down. But how do you get up? How do you overcome that? That's what we're going to be going over on these podcasts. So thank you for joining us and enjoy the podcast.
My time, nothing can keep me from reaching the top. This time, like the last time, I'm moving so fast, I'm ready to ride. I'm ready to throw down, it's time for the showdown. I'm ready to rise, don't be surprised, I'll take on the world now. My time, none of you.
Hey, welcome everybody to Creating Success Out of Failure. This show is going to be awesome, and I have an announcement to make. I want to give you some really good insight on how to stand out in business and sales and separate yourself from the competition, right? And before we dive into that, I just want to make an announcement. We're going to do a segment on this show where we invite a business owner on, an entrepreneur on, and we're going to dissect their business, right? Every aspect of their business, and basically give them advice and ways in which they can scale and grow and run their operation a lot more efficiently. Now, this isn't for everybody, right? If you guys are interested, DM Evan, leave a comment on the show where you see it, or try and get in touch with me. I'm very accessible. All right, I'm going to ask you some questions beforehand about your business. Might ask you for some statements so I can see how everything works. Now, don't worry, we're not going to disclose any type of crazy financial information or anything that's going to hurt you. But we are going to dig deep into the business. We'll have you sign a release, but I guarantee you it's going to help, and it's going to help your business, move forward, right? And you got to think about it from, our point of view. All I do each and every day is work on people's businesses. I do anything from startups to businesses that have been around forever. I do transactions as small as 10,000, although I'm really not working on those anymore, and up to, in many, many millions. So that being said, this is a huge opportunity. If you want to come on the show and allow us to help you with your business, we'd like it. It would get your business exposure. All I want to make sure is that, one, you're following the show, and two, you set up a time prior to coming on, and we just make sure it's the right fit. So we can kind of go over a few basics together, and I know that you're comfortable coming on and going into everything that we would talk about. So I hope you guys like that. That's going to be a different type of show. So we're going to have the normal show, Creating Success Out of Failure, and then we're going to do kind of like a business consulting live on the show. We haven't come up with a name for it yet, but we're going to do it because I think it's going to be great and it's going to help a lot of people. All right, so let's get into what we were talking about, how to separate yourself from the competition. Now, while we're getting into this, I want to go over the current landscape and things I see, right? A lot of times if you're on social media, and I'm just going to go right for it, you're looking at people that usually make some type of phishing or engagement post and then try and pitch people in the DMs, right? And, it could be somebody or somebody has an opt-in and they come in. It doesn't matter how it's sourced. The main thing that I see is everything's very transactional, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Like Amazon has built one of the best businesses in the world being transactional. And again, that works for some people. However, other people, especially when you want a longer term relationship, right? You're not connecting, when you're on Amazon, you're not connecting to that seller or that seller's store, right? You're connecting to Amazon. Amazon's directing you to that store. That's what you pick out. a lot of other businesses, they have relationships with their clients, right? A marketing firm, my firm, Sprout, an auto repair place. Most businesses, you want to aim for relationships. It should not be transactional. Obviously, a transaction is going to take place. I think in order for your business to grow, you really need to take care of your clients. Okay. So let's talk about things that I see in the current landscape. Okay. People think you can't make a mistake in business. That's not true. Mistakes happen all the time, right? The biggest thing is owning up to that mistake and going above and beyond to make it right. Because that person that was going to write a scathing review, if you make it right, guess what happens? It goes away, and now they're your biggest fan. My wife recently had a huge issue with her Jeep, right? I bought her a brand new Jeep. It's not brand new anymore. When we bought it, it was brand new. There was a big manufacturer defect that they weren't owning up to. They had several chances to make it right. They didn't. Well, guess who's never buying a Jeep again, right? And I buy cars, every 3 years like anyone else. So the point is, Jeep lost the client, and now, I'm not trying to bash them. They had opportunities to make it right. They didn't make it right. Okay. So, the reviews were left. It's not good, right? You just don't want to operate a business that way. So mistakes happen. You own up to them. You over deliver, and you make it right. Bottom line. The other thing is, in business, it is okay. I want everyone to know, business and sales, it is okay not to have the answer, right? When you're dealing with people, there are certain personality types. And if you cannot read into the personality type that you're dealing with, a lot of times it's not okay to answer something that you don't know in circles, right? That actually happened today, and it's a very, very large transaction that I was a part of. And there was 4 parties involved. One of the parties who I happened to bring to the table didn't, and this is fresh, right? This is just fresh in my mind. I'm not bashing anybody. This is the truth. Had on the call, had that person just said, don't know the answer to that. This is how we find the answer. Let me find out the answer. Get everything in front of you, and then we'll review it together, and I'll explain everything to you. Had that been the answer, the call goes completely different. Okay? No question in my mind. To the point where I stepped in and said, hey, this is how we're going to handle this. We'll get all the answers, figure it out. Very large transaction. These things happen, right? And part of it was not being prepared for the call, which is a mistake. Own a mistake, and then fix it and over deliver, right? A lot of times, it's okay not to know the answer. Own that you don't know the answer, right? And then move on. Get the information the client the client was asking for, and then fix it. Simple, easy solution, right? Be straightforward. Get right to the point. Hey, I don't know that. Let me get back to you. Okay. These things go a long way in building rapport, building relationships, which should be the goal of everything that your business is doing. And if you're in sales, that absolutely should be what you're trying to do, is build relationships, because the relationships last. Relationships bring in more business.
And I'd like to jump in and say that a lot of what we're talking about in this episode is something that I feel like a lot of business owners and salespeople kind of lose sight of and don't think about, which is that, the people that you're helping, or even, if whether it's like really one-on-one long-term relationships with clients, or just like a one-time transaction thing, like the people that you're helping, they're not just numbers and dollars, they're actual people. So a lot of this, like, it goes beyond business and into just, relationships and being a good person, right? Like if you make a mistake, well, if you were a human being and you made a mistake, right, to a friend or something like that, you would go to them and you'd make it right. So the same thing applies in business, even though a client isn't, your best friend, I guess, but they're people, and then they are relationships. We say that, everyone, all the business people, right, business owners say, oh yeah, relationships are, the name of the game. We have to develop relationships for business and things like that. But I feel like a lot of people say the word relationships, but I don't think it really registers in their mind, right? Like they don't really realize what that means to
No,
like
they do. They
have a
do.
relationship.
I just think it's lost. I think it's something that's been lost in the shuffle
Yeah.
as transactions become more, high speed, less person to person. Okay, and some businesses that's okay, right? Amazon has created a whole system and business based around it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just telling you that if you want to scale and you have a business that involves relationships, which I would say the majority of us do, this is how you separate yourself from the competition, right? So always over deliver. If you don't have the answers, that's okay. Just get back to them and just be straightforward and honest about it. And then hold up things on your end of the transaction. What do I mean by that? If you say you're going to do something, make sure you do it. And then if you don't do it, don't make excuses why it didn't happen. Own it. Fall on the sword. Hey, sorry, this happened, right? The particular call that I was referencing, there was other extenuating circumstances where it was almost set up as an ambush. And I don't want to say ambush because I don't think anything was set up as an ambush. I think it was certain people we weren't aware of people that were going to be on the call, questions that were going to be asked, and not all the parties involved in a particular transaction were present, right? So be as prepared as humanly possible, and if the answers are there, that's it. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Not the end of the world, right? But fix it by getting the right information in everybody's hands. And again, I'm not harping on one particular thing. These are just general business practices that will take you to other levels, right? So the other thing is, besides doing everything you say you're going to do and over and deliver, be consistent, all right? You can't serve one client at 150% and then serve another client at 20%, right? And this doesn't just extend to one or two people in your organization. You need to make everybody aware in your organization that this is the expectation. Everybody is served at the same level, the same energy, same enthusiasm, and we're going to over deliver, right? And again, it's one of those things where if it's not something you reward on, it's not something that people in your organization are going to take seriously, right? People that work in my organization know it is vital for them to operate at this level, right? And you break that down to core values, right? That's one of our core values is over deliver on everything. If you're not doing that, you're going to get passed by people that are doing it. It's just as simple as that. It's really, really easy. Your focus needs to be on the client, taking care of them, right? Because at the end, if you don't do that, you can't ask for referrals. And at the end of the day, you're probably going to lose business. You're certainly not going to grow business, right? And as in sales, if you're in sales and the organization doesn't have those types of core values, is that somewhere you want to be? You have to ask yourself, one, do I want to be there? And if the answer is still yes, well, two, can I change that, right? Can I speak with somebody? Can I have these things implemented? And what should the process and procedure be to have these, right? That's very, very, very important. So next, educate, okay? We live in a world where everybody can get information at the click of a few buttons, okay? So what that means is your clients that you're trying to build a relationship with can look things up quicker and easier today than ever before. Not only can they look up reviews, they can look you up. So one, make sure your profiles on social media speak to the clients in a truthful way. Somebody that if they looked up your profile, are they going to see somebody that's going out and partying on the weekends, or are they going to see somebody that is geared towards helping their clients, right? And I'm not telling you to act a certain way. I'm telling you to be a certain way. There's a big difference, right? And people are smart enough today to know if it's an act or if you're being truthful to yourself, right? So that's a big part of it. And two, When you educate your clients, you're going to build trust with your clients. They're going to want to work. You can teach them something about how to operate their business or how to make more sales or something along the lines of, hey, they're coming to you with X problem. If what you offer has that solution in it and you educate them on how to implement it and ultimately how to run and operate at a higher level and get the results that they want, you are going to be their go-to for a lot of different. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, most of this really does come back to, building those relationships and being willing to go above and beyond in the form of, helping to educate them on what is happening and making sure that they're involved. Because it is, I mean, a lot of people, the whole point of outsourcing, especially if your business is surrounding some sort of done for you service, the whole point is you want to just kind of give the work away. You don't have to worry about it. But there is still power in keeping the client like in the loop, right, in the process, making sure that they know that you're available to talk to and so that you can give them information and keep them connected. And so that really, it's just part of having, that relationship and going above and beyond for the clients and making sure that they are involved, enough so that they know what's happening and that they know that you're trustworthy.
That's just having good communications about the process, right?
Right.
And a lot of times if you're in sales or you're in business, and it's not a buy here right now type of situation, you want to be able to explain how the process works. So what we typically do on the first call, and I'm just relating this back to what we do because it's a little bit easier. We explain how the process works. We're going to send statements, application, everything that we need, and then we're going to review it, right? That's part of the education process, but just a small part, but it's part of it, right? Because people don't know how their business stacks up. How are they going to know what's available to them? How are they going to know where they're strong, where they're weak, what they need to work on? So that's something that we do that no one else I've seen in this industry does. And that can work on every level. Think about if you're a personal trainer or a gym owner. You review their results prior to them coming in and signing up with you. Are you taking all the vitals, seeing where they are at now from a physical standpoint and where they want to go? Because if you're not doing that, you're not educating them on how to get the desired results that they're looking for. You're really doing yourself, and more importantly, you're doing the client a disservice, right? So next is finding the right solution. It might not be with you. Maybe it's somebody else. But if you can be a connector, and that's my next point, and really help them get what they're after, they're going to do the same. They're going to reciprocate. They're going to reciprocate and send people your way. Why? Because you're the one that found the solution. You're the one that helped them at a very high level.
And that really, I'd like to just jump in and say how true that is, because there's been someone that I talked to who I thought they would make a good client for me to help them start a podcast, but I could tell very quickly that they weren't interested in outsourcing it. They wanted to do it themselves. So instead of either dropping it, the whole relationship, or trying to push to get them to be a client, I just offered my expertise and I just kept the relationship going, and I helped them when they had questions. I answered them and we had conversations around it. And eventually he referred me multiple clients that are now paying clients. So even though in the moment it may not seem like a client or a relationship will, it doesn't seem like it will work for you in the moment, right? It doesn't mean that you won't get some kind of monetary benefit in the future if you help them from a place of, as we talked about, right, just it's a relationship. So if you help them get to where they're going, if they're not going to be working with you, then you'll still end up probably better off than you are in that moment, right? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So your goal should always be to wow everybody that you interact with, right? Because one, that's how you keep referrals going. Because think about it. If somebody refers you business and you drop the ball and that person finds out, they're not going to give you any more referrals. And on the flip side, if you can think of and make sure that every person you meet is so comfortable and confident and blown away by your approach and how you treat people and how well you try to help them, well, one, they're going to know you care, and two, they're going to send you business. So just think about it. Every person you interact with sends you 2 referrals. You tripled your business overnight. Okay? So that should be your approach. That should be how you want to operate everything. For every person you speak with, you know they're at least going to send you one more person, if not two. Next, you want to be a connector. I did a YouTube on this last weekend, and I think it's up on the site, where it's just basic stuff that a lot of people overlook. So if you guys haven't watched it, go to Sprout Lending, go to the YouTube, and watch that show, because there's a lot of value there, right? And besides being a connector, you might want to have a place where all your clients can connect. Why do I say that? All your clients are in a place where they can connect, speak freely. One, you can bounce ideas off. Two, they feel connected to a group. They're going to stick around long, right? And three, not only will they be able to speak highly of you in that setting, they'll be able to refer you business. If you add value, educate them, show them things that are upcoming, you actually can get a gauge of the market and how it reacts. The other big thing is when you have all your clients in one place, you might think that you are doing something so far above and beyond, and you can kind of get a lot of good market intel. What do I mean by market intel? Well, maybe you think that, everyone comes to you because you have the widest selection of cars, right? And at the end of the day, that's not why they're coming to you. If 5 or 6 people, if everybody in the group isn't talking about the selection of programs you offer, but how you treated them or how quickly you got it done, and you're sitting there spending money on ads about your scope of programs, and really it's everyone loves you because of how quickly you were able to solve their challenges, right? You're marketing the wrong things. You're not marketing your strong points, right? So think about that. Having a way to interact with your clients quickly, easily, keeping them all in one spot, okay, is vital, because you almost get your own market research, something that big companies pay millions and millions of dollars on, right? You can get for free just by keeping all your clients in one place, speaking to them, and finding out what really was the deciding factor in them going with you versus your competition. Okay, that is tremendous. That is a huge nugget that you guys should implement immediately.
And that's your clients, they're working with you. So if anyone would know, things that you could do differently, or things that you could do better, or things you can add, it would be them. And I think there's power in having an open line of communication with your clients and with customers, and with just people in your audience as well. There's power in having that open line of communication for them to feel comfortable coming to you with thoughts they have on what you're doing and what you could do differently to help make sure that their experience is as good as possible. And I think that really ties into what we're talking about, because if they can come to you and say, hey, what about this, or this, and you say, oh, that's a really good idea, and you implement it, then think about if a company did that for you. You'd be very likely to, continue a great relationship with them and refer people their way. And it's just yet another way that you can go above and beyond, and yet another way that you can have great communication with people in your network and in your business.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. But you need to be able to listen for the feedback.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you right now, you guys want to know how to keep all your clients in one place. Everybody's on social media. Make a closed group, right? Make a closed private group that you add people, and let them know that you're adding them after you take care of them. Hey, I'm going to add you to this group. I add content on a weekly basis. And it's a good way for you to connect with other people I've done business with and see if you can do business together, right? I want to keep everything in a nice ecosystem in the family. People want to be part of those things, right? No one's going to say, no, don't do that. Or, no, please don't add me. They feel part of the community. That's a big thing moving forward, right? And then next, reputation is absolutely everything. So people tend to think it's not really a big deal. I'll tell you that's not the case. Your reputation in today's day and age, and how you treat people, making sure that you do the right thing is very important because people want to research the people they're in business with. And what I will tell you is the bigger what you're selling, the higher the cost of what you're selling, okay, the more people want to look into you, right? If you're just selling, if you own a dollar store, really not that big a deal. Now you still want all your clients' information. You still want to put everything in place. I don't think there's going to be too many reviews about a dollar store. Why? Because the transactions are small. And people really aren't going to be doing research when the average average sale is, $10, $15, $20 or less, right? You own a restaurant, people are looking you guys up. If you do what I do, where a transaction could be in the millions, they're going to want to know your third grade report card. Okay, that's the truth. And I can tell you things that if you don't do the right thing, you're not going to be in business long. If you're selling cars, or if you're, any big ticket transaction, right, or anything that has to do with, should be a lot of reviews, like a restaurant. People want to do their homework. Okay, make sure that when they're there, they have an experience. Make sure that they love being there, being around there. It's about the environment you create for your clients. You create a good environment to educate. If you really go above and beyond, that's in and of itself is going to help you grow your business. The strongest type of marketing you can do is investing in your clients and making sure you always have positive word of mouth, right? We live in a day and age where people tend to forget about that, tend to under-deliver, over-promise. And if you can separate yourself by over-delivering and under-promising and owning your mistakes and making them right, you're going to be in a much better situation. Your business is going to be in a much different situation. And if you're in sales, it's much easier for you to, build a book of business or build a client base because they're going to want to refer you to business, right? These are just basic, simple things that, years ago, I feel like it was more commonplace. And somewhere along the way, we lost that. So this should be a wake-up call, right? This is how you should operate. You got anything else, Evan?
No, I think that's all. I mean, it's something that I know a lot of people, like we've mentioned before, it's something a lot of people may lose sight of. That, and there's really power, and I like what you said, under promising and over delivering as opposed to the opposite. Because that, I mean, there's, like you said, there's huge power in reviews and in those relationships and in how people view your business, because chances are people who are listening probably don't sell things that are, like you said, 10, $20, at least like hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars, potentially even millions of dollars, like what you do. And if you're going to make $1 million investment or even $1,000 investment, you're probably going to want to know that what you're investing in is legit and that it's something that, it's a good investment, right? You want to know that. And so you're in charge of people knowing that, right? You have to be the one as like the business owner, right? To make sure that the business is presented in a way that people, when they go and look at it, when they see it, when they find it online, they say, oh, wow, well, look at all these people that they've helped. Look at this great community. I want to be a part of that. All these other people have invested the same money I'm about to invest. And look at what it got them. It got them a lot. That looks really good.
Yep. Well, training and education is a big part of it. Now, I can tell you that. We spend a lot of time training and focusing on our referral partners so they send the right clients. We spend a lot of time training and educating our clients on where their business is, where their business is going, right? So, I'm sure that if you guys implement this, business, your sales will grow. You know what? You'll be happier for it, not just because, you have more revenue being generated, but more importantly, you're helping more people. And it's funny and true. The more people you help at a high level, the business actually becomes easier. And what I mean by that is you're not selling as hard. You're actually, when you get a referral, it's a very easy transaction because it's not that their guard is down, but they're not looking for reasons not to do business with you. You would have to give them that, right? By not following these steps. When you get a referral, they want to do business with you. It's a very, very, very easy way to be able to help someone, as opposed to cold calling or even taking something such as somebody opted in to your list, right? They still don't know you. They just read some copy or read an ad or saw a video that piqued their interest, right? So they still have their reservations about you. When you have a referral, there's a lot less reservation. So as long as you uphold your end of things, everything should be a lot easier. And as long as you over deliver, you're happy, they're happy, everybody wins. So that being said, these are the things that you guys should be implementing day one. If you haven't implemented them, go back and start, right? And I just want to remind you guys, one, you're a business owner, you want to come on and get a free consultation. I'm happy to do it. Just reach out to us. Two, I know you guys got a lot of value out of this show. So do me a favor, leave us a 5-star review and share this, right? The more people we can help, the better we're going to be. We don't run ads here. We're never going to really run ads here. So do us a favor, leave us a review, and whatever platform you're listening on, share this with someone. Thanks, guys, for listening. We'll see you on the next one.
That wraps up this episode. Remember, we are not here to sell anything. We're only here to help people, help entrepreneurs, help salespeople level up, get their business and finances and health to the next level. So please, we're never going to sell you anything on the show. If you got any value at all, just one little thing, all I ask is a 5-star review and that you share this episode on social media. Thank you, and continue leveling up.
Gotta go get it right now. Holla at me if you're with me. It's time. Take what we got, we gon' make it. Show the world that it's shining our greatness. Keep it real, never gon' fake this. Till we make it, till we make it. Taking off, flying high like a spaceship. Take control, take a shot, what you waiting for. Keep it real, never gon' fake this. Till we make it, till we make it. Second verse, I'm telling you I'm ready to go, letting you know, cause I'm never below the ones that I roll with are incredibly known for getting down to the nitty gritty. If you really with me, let's go. Moves made, dues paid, most talk but don't do a thing. We certified, observers I come through and give a true display. We champions, understand me standing under a victory canopy. Canopy the enemy was handing keys, ready to drive at top speed, let's get it out. Wake up, victory's mine, on top, still on the grind. Gotta go get it right now, holla at me if you're with me, it's time. Take what we got, we gon' make it. Show the world that it's shining our greatness. Keep it real, never gon' fake this. Till we make it, till we make it. Taking off, flying high like a spaceship. Take control, take a shot, what you waiting for. Keep it real, never gon' fake this. Till we make it, till we make it. I thank the stars above. I know that we're gon' make it. I know the ground below my feet's gon' lift me up. I thank make it. Show the world that it's shining our greatness. Keep it real, never gon' fake this. Till we make it, till we make it. Taking off, flying high like a spaceship. Take control, take a shot, what you waiting for. Keep it real, never gon' fake this. Till we make it, till we make it. It'll take what we got, we gon' make it. Keep it real, never gon' fake this. Taking off, flying high like a spaceship. Take control, take a shot, what you waiting for. Keep it real, never gon' fake this. Till we make it, till we make it.